So, welcome to part 2 of this video series on Apigee X and Google Cloud provisioning and automation. In this section, we're going to do the same provisioning that we did in part 1, but now with Terraform, and to see exactly how that process works. So let's jump in. We're going to use our same GitHub Quickstart project, but this time we're going to use part 2, so the Terraform automation, and let's just jump right over. So here's our repository again. In part 1 we did the shell deployment here in Cloud Shell. So this time we're going to do the Terraform deployment here. So let me just click on Google Cloud Shell here. You can see the steps. It's much simpler because the configuration is simpler using Terraform. So let's go ahead and open that. And again, we have to trust this repo in Google Cloud. So I'll confirm that because it will be cloned directly into our shell environment. So if we check here, we have a fresh clone of the repository, everything here in Cloud Editor, and we have our tutorial as well to guide us through the same steps that, that we could also do from the README in the GitHub repo. So first we do have to set our environment again. So I'm going to create a new environment called Cloud31X, leave everything else the same, and then set the billing ID as well to my billing ID. And I'll save that. And then let's go ahead and apply that. So I'm going to copy that to Cloud Shell, and that's going to source those environment variables. So let's go to the next step. The next step is to init Terraform. If we take a look at the different files, we can click here to open them in the browser, in the editor here. So the first one we have is main.tf, which just includes the base configuration for all of the assets that we want to deploy. So using open source modules that Google provides, Google Cloud, to create projects, to set those same policies that we did using the shell commands in the previous exercise, create the VPCs, and all the other configuration needed for our deployment. Additionally, if we click here to the Apigee, to basically the variables that we'll be setting, again we're setting the region, the environments that we want to create in Apigee. This time we're going to create dev and test environments, and just the other configuration for the Apigee deployment. So with that, let's execute an initialize that deployment. So execute those commands. So now everything is downloaded and initialized. And when it's finished, we can just move to the next step. So the next step is to apply this configuration with some more variables. And so let's just go ahead and copy that to Cloud Shell and go ahead and apply that. So now it gives us an overview of all the resources going to be created. So, a KMS, Key Vault, crypto keys, everything for the complete end-to-end deployment and environment. So let's just type in yes to create that. And so now everything is going to be deployed. This is also faster as the shell deployment because the Terraform deployments are done in parallel and with the right ordering. So this is all automatic, and so the overall time is shorter to do complex deployments with very simple inputs. So this is going to be created, and we'll come back when it's finished. So now our deployment is finished, and we see the results here in our console in our Cloud Shell. So apply complete. Everything is finished. If we jump over to the Apigee console, we'll see that we now have a Cloud31X project that currently doesn't have any proxies deployed or any APIs, but we can do that on our next exercise, is to template out some API proxies. And as well, we can jump over to the Google Cloud console and switch over to the 31X project. And again, everything configured, provisioned exactly as configured using the Terraform scripts. So Terraform is a really easy and quick start approach to spinning up and tearing down cloud resources in a very automated way. So in the next section, we'll get into templating out, APIs actually into any of our environments and connecting that into a true, end-to-end scenario. So see you there.